All right, guys, it's 2025. There's a lot of people that know about high ticket sales. They know what it is, they know how lucrative it can be. And for that reason, there's a lot more people in the marketplace. What does that mean for you? If you're already in it and you're already miles ahead of them, then good, you're safe, keep doing what you're doing. But if you're not and you want to break in and you want to excel quickly, you kind of just have to take a different approach these days. And I'm going to break that down in this video on some approaches that have worked well for myself and other people. The good news for you is a lot of the people coming into the market are coming in with incorrect expectations as to how easy this is, how low the bar is to enter. There's a lot of lazy people coming in, making it really easy for you if you have a halfway decent work ethic. If you don't have a halfway decent work ethic and you want to make 20K per month taking 2 calls per day from the beach, this is not the video for you. Actually, this is not even the channel for you. I don't talk about that. I'm pretty much here to share with you exactly how you can take advantage of the 1099 remote setting, closing, sales opportunities in 2025 and beyond. So in this video, I'm going to share some ideas with you that maybe you thought of, maybe you haven't thought of, but unique ways that I've seen people stand out and make a lot more money as a high ticket setter or closer. The high ticket model relies on this right here, leads turning into clients. The traditional high ticket model in early 2020s, before that, it was really simple to just be the middleman and make money because of that. As a setter, 5% for a 5-minute conversation or little text thread, or a closer, 45-minute, maybe 30-minute, maybe 60-minute call, 10% commission. And all you had to do was be the guy who talked to the hot leads, the inbound leads, the leads booked on your calendar. And these opportunities still exist, but if you want to break in and do better than everybody else and make more than everybody else, you got to be different. There's this joke going around about the fat cat closer, the one that sits waiting for his inbound calls, doesn't do any follow up, doesn't get creative, doesn't self generate any leads, doesn't dial any lists. The fat cat closer is someone who is so easily replaceable. You just don't want to be that person, especially in 2025. A lot of these younger kids coming in have been sold this dream of like laptop on the beach, hardly any work, inbound leads, fat cat closer. And while it can be that, what if it's not? Are you not interested? Because if not, like probably just go do something else. The point I'm making here is the fat cat closer is out in 2025. Now imagine this. You exist within a company, and as part of this company, my head's in the way, there's so much else going on, whether you're a setter or closer, that is either ahead of, now you being either this setter or closer, you exist amongst a lot of other things happening. Marketing stuff, sales stuff, back end, client success, fulfillment, operations. There's a lot of other stuff going on as part of you being like a cog in this machine that, I'll be honest, a lot of these business owners don't have all this stuff dialed in. Most of them do not have this dialed in. They might have like some of these things really good and then others don't even exist, or others are okay, but usually they're really lacking. And unfortunately, if you're just an inbound fat cat setter or closer, that's going to affect your money. So what do? Do you sit there and play victim and just like offer hop into the next hottest inbound fat cat closer role? Or do you start fixing stuff and do you start charging for that? So you could exist like this and just take your little piece of the pie right here and clock out and call it a day. Or you could start taking percentages. You could start taking base pays. You could start doing more, learning, helping the business owner, building your resume further, and making it easier for you to collect more money and make more commissions. Some of these are definitely a lot more easier to step into than others, but there's a lot of money in helping these business owners create predictable, reliable systems around all these aspects of their business, especially if they don't exist yet. Really commonly, I mean, just to come and manage like an appointment setting team or to train the sales team, to help them with recruiting, to do the sales operations. I mean, that's stuff that you can just so easily do and pick up that benefits the team, but also benefits you. Now, all these numbers I put on here, plus 2.5%, plus 10%, plus 8, plus 3,000 plus 5%. These are just some common pay structures that I've seen for these, and they can be higher, they can be lower, they can be more creative. But for the sake of the video, I just wanted to show you, like, dude, I know people that do every single thing here on this sheet and get paid more because of it. In fact, I'll tell you a quick story. Imagine someone who started out as a remote closer, came from a different industry of sales, had a good resume in a different industry, but came in here, was strictly a remote closer. Then that person went from closer to, hey, we need an appointment setting team, helping them build out that team. And then from doing that to really dialing in the calendar space, qualifying leads, introducing a lead scoring system, making sure that the calendars were super lean, super qualified for the whole closing team, working with the setters to do that. Then backing off, taking that skill set, getting into a better closing role, leveraging all that into just a better closing role, jumping into an even better closing role, then being someone who's worthy of managing a team of 10 on that same exact team. Then basically getting into sales management at scale for multiple companies, getting really ingrained into the operations side of it, building an organization with a lot of really high quality talent, becoming more of like the COO, and then selling that company after doing 8 figures in client revenue, after scaling the team to 30 people. I'm not going to name any names, but you might recognize this guy. That was my story. So I started out as a closer, and I could have stayed a closer, and I did stay a closer, but I just kept picking up incremental things. I started taking on more and more responsibility, which inevitably made me more money, built my skill set, made me more of an asset for the next opportunity that I ever wanted to get into, and allowed me to build a business leveraging these skill sets and the networks to then sell the business for an amount that some people wish to make in a year one day. Not to mention make a lot of money in the meantime. Now, this isn't going to be the path for everybody watching this. I don't expect it to be. But for example, what if I showed you these 4 gentlemen? Besides them all being extremely handsome, they're all in my sales community, the serial sales community. They have common progressions that feed into what we were just talking about. Like Samil, when he joined my community, he was doing insurance sales, went into remote closing, started hitting 10K months. And now he's like a partner with that business owner. They're running multiple sales teams. He's managing, I think, 3 sales teams, and he's doing it from Japan. So he's from Canada, started making online money, went to Japan because he could. Now he's just has so much more leverage. Sean came in as a closer from Ireland. Now managing a sales team, a big one that's doing significant revenue. I'm pretty sure he scaled it from sub 6 figures per month to somewhere near $500,000 per month. So Sean's been in the community a really long time. I can't even remember what he was doing before, but he took the skill set of closing, got into management, started making a lot more money, and built a case study. Noah, who, if you're watching this, you're going to watch my video come out in 3 days. He's going to be on this. You can learn from him. He's a really sharp guy. Does this part-time DM setting, was doing like 2 or 3 offers at once. Now he's a DM setting coach and manager for a sales agency alongside DM setting for 2 other people. And he's just used his expertise, gained leverage, and now makes more money because of that. And then David, someone who's been in my community for a while, started out as an appointment setter coming from the real estate industry, moved into sales manager, does some coaching, just gained much more leverage over his time. All these guys are involved in pre-call sequences, back-end operations, team communication, data reporting. This is a very brief summary of what these guys are up to, but all these guys are doing a lot of these things within those titles. And I'll highlight Brandon, for example, here. Brandon's a guy who I've known for a couple of years now, got into the closing space, I want to say around 2021. I didn't know him at this point. But over the last 4 years, he's basically been doing this. I'll give you a rundown of his story. Also a community member, by the way. So I think he came from SaaS sales and got into remote closing in 2021. He started helping that business with automations, go high level, some of the operational stuff behind sales. If I remember correctly, that's where he met my partner in the agency that I just sold, and they stayed in touch. Then we started a business. My partner and I started a business, and he came on as the first closer. Maybe there was some stuff between business 1 and business 2, but for the sake of the story, he came on as the first closer here. He started doing the same automations, helping us with the back end on go high level. And then he basically took over sales. Like, he was the only one taking sales calls, was managing the appointment setter, managing the automations. So he just became like the main guy. In business 1, there was a whole sales team. He was a closer helping with automations. Business 2, he became the guy. Then he leveraged that into becoming a closer on just a really, really hot offer. Started doing the same automations work, being that technical guy that he is. And then most recently leveraged into another part-time closing role where the sales manager eventually stepped out, and then he moved into that managing a setter, communicating with the client. And now he's a full-on account lead, taking full ownership over the account and just taking a bigger role in the sales agency that he's a part of. So you can see the progression here from 2021 to 2025, all throughout here. I know Brandon's made $30,000 in a month closing, but just stacking results, case study, skill set, resume, building, connecting to more people. And now he's in a pretty decent spot. And not to mention, he started doing this for other people too. He started posting on social media, driving leads. You might be asking me, how do you do this? And my answer to you is really, really simple. Literally just start doing it. Like, sure, you can wait for the business owner to post an open job and then have a conversation, or you could just take initiative and, assuming you're not reaching too far and assuming too much, just start doing it, because it will make your job easier. You will make more money. The business owner will see the initiative that you're taking. They'll appreciate it, and they'll be like, hey, this person might be worthy of some more responsibility. Like, if they care this much to go above and beyond just to, close a couple more deals, I wonder what they could do over here. I wonder how they could help me here. Now, if you don't know how to do it, there's this app, you may have heard of it, YouTube, probably, or there's Twitter or X. There's not really a good logo for X, like a funny one. There's Reddit, a little spooky right there. Google, you can Google anything. And school, like in my community, we talk about a lot of this stuff, but there's free school groups. Think about this. Conceptualize this. Anything, any skill, any talent, any hobby, any profession that you want to get good at, or really good at, or perhaps even great, you can learn this on the internet. Take a minute and process that. Anything, literally anything. So all those little things I showed you in the beginning, I'll be honest with you, like, they're not rocket science. They're very simple. However, there's just one prerequisite that you do need to be aware of, which is you have to get in these companies first. You're not just going to get hired in to do sales operations if you're not a sales operations guy and you've never done that before. No company is going to bring you in and just let you start tinkering around with stuff. That would be very irresponsible of that company. The two easiest options, do you remember them? I'd hope so. These fellows right here. Setter, closer. With or without sales experience, these are the easiest entry points for you to get into the company, to start to even consider doing all these other things for the company that's going to help them generate more revenue and get you paid more money. Unfortunately, guys, if you watch my channel, you know, like, sales training isn't going to get you there. Having a six-pack, not going to get you there either. What does get you there is having a ton of these opportunities just put in front of you every single day, so that way you don't have to go out and send hundreds of cold Instagram DMs or look on LinkedIn or Reddit or wherever else people try to find these jobs, because it's hard there. Why not just go somewhere where these jobs are being shared for you? If you know you can make like 5, 10, 15K per month, maybe you're already making that and you want to make it in this industry, like, your time is not best spent sending cold DMs to fitness coaches. Like, that is probably the worst use of your time. Getting into a network where things will expedite themselves because the people in that network are serious and they've done this before and they know how to do it well. The community that I run is one of those, believe it or not. And then also, not only having access to those opportunities, but then making sure that every single application you put out has the highest odds possible at getting received well. Like, the difference between sending 50 applications and getting 2 job offers extended to you and getting 11 or 12 job offers extended to you is literally just a few minor tweaks at the top of the funnel. And there's an order of priority here. You probably can't read this because it's pretty small, but there's a priority here that can make that way, way, way easier. And one of them has to do with getting in front of a lot of jobs. I made a whole video on this diagram and how to increase the throughput of your job application funnel to take the same effort that you're already doing and just get more out of it. I'm going to link that at the end of this video. If you don't see it, just go to my YouTube, look for the thumbnail that has this diagram. By the way, we teach that in the community that I run. So the serial sales community, I've been running this for almost 3 years now. We've worked with hundreds of people to get into this industry. If you go to this website, you're going to see this right here. It's this YouTube video I've posted. It basically has every single thing you would need to know about high ticket sales and the community to either get started with us or without us. Any objection that you could have to this industry, this community, what we do, how it can help you, I'm pretty sure I probably address it in this video. It's a long video, but there's chapters, so it makes it a little bit easier to go through. Now, each of these, again, there's going to be a learning curve, and it's going to be trial and error. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying to your face. But if you guys want to get into somewhere where there's people doing this, like the 5 gentlemen that I showed you, myself, there's opportunities being shared. You're getting like one-on-one or small group help on maximizing the funnel throughput of your job applications to 1099 setting and closing rules. If you just want to make this easier, like, this space is already hard to navigate on its own. Why make it harder? get connected to the right people, make it happen faster, avoid mistakes, and just get into something that's going to serve you for the next however long you want to be in this industry. So guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not. It shows me that you actually want to see the content that we're investing into and putting out. So it means a lot. Turn on the bell notifications so you can see when we drop twice a week, every week for the time being. And if you have any questions about anything that I broke down, you can send me an email at dylan@serialsales.co or leave it in the comments or just jump into our community. That's probably the easiest way. If you want to book a community application call, go down below, talk to my boy Diego. He'll give you the whole rundown of the community, why it exists, how it helps you, and if it's a good fit for you. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.